Today, I'm going to show you how to use basic special effects to make your D&D stream look a cut above all the others. I've been streaming D&D for about 2 years, and I've tried every format. The Critical Role in-person format, tried it. The 2D static image VTube style, mastered it. Theater of the Mind podcast style, done and done. Hi, I'm Mikey, or as some of you know me on Twitch, Dmetagame. Now, throughout the years, I've really picked up on what works and what doesn't on the mechanical side of streaming D&D, and I want to impart my knowledge onto this community to help people make their streams pop a little bit more. If there is any interest, then I'll make videos in depth going into what you can do behind the scenes. This is going to be a very general video that will just scratch the surface with some of the things that you can do in OBS or slobs. So if you want to support this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, you know, all the works. If you have any questions, feel free to join my Discord channel, which is in the description of the video as well. If you want an idea on how to push OBS or slobs to the absolute limits with all of these effects, check out my Twitch channel as well, where I DM a bunch of streamers and content creators. It gives you a good idea of some of the really cool things that you can do if you're willing to put all the work and effort in. Okay, let's start with the question that everybody asks first. What do I need to make this happen? And the answer, to be perfectly honest, there's no material objects that will gatekeep you from entering the realm of Twitch SFX. But, in reality, there's 2 pieces of equipment that you will definitely need to practically accomplish this. And the first of those 2 is RAM. If you're serious about this, you're definitely going to want to up your RAM game, especially if you're going with animated effects, because the amount of programs that you will have up and running all at once alongside streaming, it could really add up, and fast. And I'm personally no means an expert on RAM, so you should probably look up a video to help you in that department, but make sure that streaming OBS or slobs does not eat up your memory, or you're going to have a very difficult time pulling off some of these effects, even the simpler ones. The second tool you're going to need is a Stream Deck. And I know, it's very expensive, but this wonderful tool is the absolute key to making sure you can do these incredible effects on the fly. There's a lot of turning things on, turning things off, and the multi-button feature on the Stream Deck will essentially automate the whole process into the click of a button. Now, before I get into these special effects, there's tons of cool things you can do, things I haven't even thought of at the time of making this video. But some of the cooler things I've experimented with are relatively simple to do. In this video, I'm going to focus on 3 main types of effects that we can show. This will basically get you an idea on what you can do with the Stream Deck. The first one we're going to focus on is status effect boxes that you could toggle whenever a player becomes poisoned or incapacitated or etc. The second one we're going to add is a weather effect to your overlay, which adds a little bit of atmosphere. And the final one is to add celebratory animations for if your players get a critical hit or even a critical failure. First, let's go on Google and download a poison PNG that can represent a character being poisoned. Then, we go to OBS or Streamlabs and we import the image as a PNG, and we'll position it appropriately. Now, open up the Stream Deck interface, go down to whether you're using OBS or slobs, and click Source. This is going to toggle the image on or off, and you're going to select the image, then simply just hit the button, and you can turn it on or off whenever your character becomes poisoned. Now, you will have to do this for every single one of your players showing up on screen. Like I mentioned earlier, it's really simple, but really tedious. But when you're all done, it's going to look flawless and cool. And that's it. The next effect is practically the same effect, but with a slightly different focus. We're going to add some weather effects to your maps, displayed on Roll20 or whatever tabletop program you're using to run the game. We're going to go on Google again, and we're going to look for a green screen rain effect. Find one that works for you. They're all relatively simple, and same thing. We're going to save the image as, and we're going to save it somewhere in our computer. Now, since we're using an animated effect, we're going to click Unload Image while not being used. This will save you a lot of memory while you stream, as OBS won't be trying to play the image when the effect isn't toggled. Now, let's import the image to OBS and size it up, then layer it over Roll20, but under the stream overlay. We're now going to go over, right-click the image, and we're going to go to Filters, Add Filter, and now we're going to go to Color Key. Then, go to Key Color Type, click on that, and go to Custom Color. Then use the eyedropper tool to click on the rain until it shows up on that screen as a rain-like effect. Then we're going to go and add another effect under Color Key, that is Color Correction. And we're going to move the hue shift a little bit to the left to get that blue rain effect. Now by the time that you're done, it's going to look a little choppy. It would probably be easier to Google for a transparent weather effect, as weather effects are usually difficult to work with color keys, but for this video, even if the effect looks choppy, let's give it a go, just so you get the experience using the chroma key. In future videos, you're going to be using that effect a lot, so it's nice to introduce you to that here and now. Now, you're going to go back into the Stream Deck interface, and you're going to do the exact same thing you did with the previous effect. Create a scene, tie that scene to the weather effect, and then you're just going to toggle it whenever you want to show that it's raining in the scene in Roll20. Just like that. Pretty simple. And now for the last one, Natural 20 Celebration Animations. This one is a little bit more difficult than the previous two, but when you really think about it, it's practically the exact same process. This is the simple kind of effect that can work on both virtual avatars or even face cams, and it's extremely easy to do. First, you want to go to YouTube or Google, look for some kind of celebration effect, and add the word green screen to the end. Confetti is always a great one. Find some kind of celebration noise matching the player's personality for even greater effect. Now, go back to Google, find one of those download YouTube video programs, download the green screen effect. Now, it's going to be very similar to what we just did, but this time we're going to do a media source because it is an MP4 video we're using. So, let's go. Drag that file that we just downloaded into over here. Make sure to click loop, and also close file when inactive. Then click done, right-click the media source, and you're going to go to filter, edit filter, add filter, and then we're going to go back to color key. Now, this is going to be a little easier than the rain because it's a more colorful effect. All you need to do, go to the eyedropper, click the background, the light green, the closer to the background you get, the better off we'll be. Then, just play around with the similarity and the smoothness until you get the perfect looking effect. It'll take a little while at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty easy, especially when you're dealing with a colorful effect like this. Now we want to make the confetti appear and disappear on its own whenever a natural 20 is rolled. Open up the Stream Deck again, and this time, instead of doing what we did the first time where we made a source, we're going to make a multi-action. This is going to kind of automate the process and make it appear and disappear on its own. Let's create a multi-action. You can name it whatever. We'll call it confetti. And then double-click it, and now we can add everything. Now the first thing to add is a delay. We'll make that delay be 8,000 milliseconds, which translates to 8 seconds, which is about how long that animation took to loop. So what we're going to do next is the same thing we did for the first two, and we're going to add a source to Streamlabs. Once you find the source, go ahead and drag it right under, and then find the same scene that you're looking to add this to, and then the media source. Make sure that you put the activate one above the delay. This is going to turn it on. The delay is going to cause it to last 8 seconds. Then copy, paste it, deactivate. So it's going to go in a sequence where it first activates the media source, which is the confetti, then it delays it 8 seconds, and then it's going to turn it off. It's really important that you turn it off because then you can just keep repeating the effect after the 8-second loop. Now again, you are going to have to make this for every single character. And then just like that, just tap the button for whatever player hits the natural 20, and then guess what? They're going to get their little confetti celebration, and chat's going to go wild. It's always a good time when someone rolls a natural 20, especially if you like to exaggerate them like I do. Now, there are so many different types of effects that I could show you. And this, really, I just wanted to build up your confidence to be able to use this. In the future, we could go over some crazier and more complicated effects that you couldn't even believe that something as little as a Stream Deck is capable of providing. Now you have a little idea of what you can do to elevate your D&D stream. And in the next couple videos, we can take this to the next level. So, if you like this content, again, like, subscribe, comment, share, all of it, and tell me in the comments what you want to see next. There's a lot of things to cover, such as health bars, how to use PNG tubers, how to phase shift those PNG tubers, and how to go even crazier advanced with the simple effects that I taught you today. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.